The article is titled Learning. Learning. Life is the biggest teacher. Teacher. We are in a constant state of learning. Well, at least we should be. Every encounter that we have with others is a teachable moment. There's always something new to learn. There is always something new to learn because nobody knows everything. So, again, there's always something new to learn. When you are driving, for example, and someone cuts you off on a road, you will learn that you either are impatient or you're a very patient person. You'll also learn patience. You'll also learn how to react to stressful situations. That some people just do not know the rules of the road or just don't know how to drive. You'll also learn how to drive defensively, as well as the fact that you cannot drive two cars at the same time. That's something that I had to learn. I'm telling this person, well, why are you driving like this? And da, 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 da. And I'm like, you know what, Annette? Just drive your car because you can't drive yours and theirs. So anyway, you learn those type of things. So when you are at work, you will learn how to do your job more efficiently. You also learn that some leaders do not know how to effectively lead. Some co-workers do not work well within a team environment. You also learn prioritization and time management skills. You also learn a good work ethic if you don't already possess those things. You'll also learn equity or the lack thereof. And you'll learn new skills and experiences if you are actually working and doing your job, working to do your job more efficiently and effectively. So when you are in relationship with others, no matter what type of relationship it is, you will learn listening and communication skills, or how good you are or how you can be better at those things. You will learn etiquette, selflessness, how well you interact with others, or react to others. You'll also learn self-worth and what you're willing to tolerate in a relationship. You'll learn those things. In school, we learn how to study, how to develop and disconnect friendships. Also learn time management skills through work-life balance mentality. You'll also learn, if you apply yourself and pay attention, you'll learn the subject matter content as well. As a parent, you are learning as well. You learn parenting skills, what works, what doesn't, patience, communication, how best to communicate with your children, what to communicate with your children, provision. You'll also learn time management skills through a work-life balance and juggling multiple priorities. You will also learn multitasking, unconditional love, and how to be resourceful. So if you're not learning those things in those contexts, you are missing out on excellent opportunities to learn valuable lessons. If your life hasn't taught you anything thus far, then you are wasting it and missing out on the value of learning. If you continue to not learn from your life experiences as well as from your life decisions, you are missing out on the opportunity for growth and to live life in a much better way. So if you find yourself saying things like, these things always happen to me, whatever those things are, then you're not learning, because these are things that you say, well, what could I do better next time? Or what could I have done to prevent these things from happening again? What is the pattern that is causing these things to happen to me? So whatever those things are. So you want to get to that, to the point where you can identify that through the learning process, so that it can be the driving force behind changing what could be causing those type of situations to happen to you repeatedly. For example, when you are developing friendships or relationships and people keep leaving you because they might say, well, the consensus of their conversation or something that you may have heard over time, from multiple people, they may say, well, you don't spend enough you don't give me enough attention, or you don't spend enough time with me, or you don't make me feel like you value having me in your life. If that's something that you consistently hear time and time again from different people that you engage with, if you don't want them to leave you, then it's time for you to learn that valuable lesson. There's a common denominator there. You got to learn what that common denominator is. And it's a situation where if it's a lack of time that you're devoting and attention that you're devoting to people, if you don't want people to leave you, you have to then check yourself and say, what do I need to do to make time for people that I value and that I want to stay in my life? What do I need to do? So doing that demonstrates that learning occurred. It's something that you actually learn. Now you know that, okay, I have to make time for other people if I don't want them to leave me alone. So learning is important. It is an important aspect of life. If you're not learning, you're not growing in love or in life. So when you do not learn from your life experiences, you're doomed to repeat those same mistakes. So learning requires you to care enough about the outcomes that derive from the decisions that you make in life. This is why it is so important to think about every decision you make. Yes, you will make mistakes in life. However, you should be learning from those mistakes so that you do not repeat them. The definition of insanity, which we all know, is doing the same things over and over again, but expecting a different result. Think about the outcome that you want from every decision that you make before you make the decisions. Also, think about where the decisions are coming from. Are they coming from your emotions, your heart, your mind, your spirit, past trauma, or coming from someone else's opinion or feedback? So, when you are making decisions, make sure that your emotions are not driving the decisions that you're making. So, when you make emotional decisions, or when you make decisions that derive from your emotions, you usually say and do what you feel and not what you mean. I talked about that in another article that I wrote previously as well. So, doing so, it can produce a negative outcome, one that you may later regret or try to recant, but the damage will have already been done. So try not to make emotional decisions. You have to learn how to regulate your emotions so that you do not make reactive decisions in haste or immediacy. Learn how to critically think about what you want to do and what you want to say first so that you can make better decisions, thereby producing better outcomes. Learn how to also not take the snippets of a story, like small pieces of a story, or the story of your life. Try not to take snippets of the story of your life. Look at your life as the whole that it is, the total in its totality, not just the snippets of your experiences with people, or snippets of people that you engage in relationship with. So let's say you were with somebody and you have good and bad days, and the snippet that you focus on are the bad things and not the good things. You have to focus on both, not just the snippet of the experience. That's what I'm saying. And when I say snippets, I mean small pieces of information from that experience or from that your life story. Look at the whole person and look at your whole entire experience with that person. Learn from the entire experience, not just snippets. Then make decisions based solely on the entire story, not just small portions of the story. So, for example, it's just like reading a passage in the Bible and you only read a verse, instead of reading the whole entire chapter. So you miss out on valuable context that could help you understand it better. So I'm going to say it again. So just like reading a small passage or verse in the Bible and you take it out of context because you didn't read the entire story or chapter, you can miss out on the learning experience when you do this with people as well. So learning from your life experiences should cause you to learn more about yourself also, so that you can identify the role you actually played in the outcomes that derive from every decision that you make. So in life, if you are not learning, you will continue to do yourself a disservice. You will continue to make the same mistakes. You will continue wasting your precious time and possibly others as well, because life is about learning and growing from what you learn. Therefore, always be coachable, because you do not always have the correct answers to everything. Be willing to listen, be willing to learn. And when you're not learning, you risk living in error. You risk living constantly in error when you're not learning. Excuse this country twang. Continuing to live in error is being dead while you are yet still alive. So I hope that you are smarter than that. Never stop learning, because, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance, and conscientious stupidity. That means people who are blind to what's really going on, and therefore they don't do anything to try to correct their wrongs, and they make decisions in their life in error. They keep living in error and believing untruths and misinformation. So you don't want to do that. You want to learn from your life experiences. So learning is the article written in the February 2025 Love Exquisite Magazine. So always learn, and don't take snippets of the person. Don't take snippets of a story. Don't take snippets of your life experience. Look at the whole picture and make decisions based on that whole person, not just snippets of the person. Make decisions based on the reality and the fact of the matter, not out of emotions. Don't say what you feel, say what you mean, and never stop learning.